Happy day after Halloween. I'm Tiffany,
And I'm Andrea.
and we are relatively unstable. Don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that stuff so that we can grow and we can get more confident and we can be more inspired to keep coming back and talking about
Whatever.
whatever, like we're gonna do today. We have no special guest, just us. So thank you for being here, whoever you are. Let us know who you are. What's going on, Andrea?
Oh, what's going on? Um, Lots of work stuff, lots of always work stuff. I I'm not going to get into too much of the details of it because it's kind of a internet famous person, but lost a big client recently, and so I'm dealing with uh the fallout of that.
Sorry.
And yeah, it happens. It happens. A lot of it was um a lot of it was my fault, kind of, and I should have been better at communicating stuff with the client, but overall, I'm taking it as a lesson and just moving on. That's so I've been kind of in a funk about that recently, but there's some other great things that are happening that I can't really say yet because I don't want to jinx it. And so yeah, but you know, whenever I can, then I will obviously share and we can talk about that. But yeah, work's just been crazy. But everything else is great.
So I love the accountability, uh, but is it at all possible that while you could have been a little more communicative, the expectations either were a little high or not really um, laid out um, mutually?
It it's possible. It's definitely possible. And also I think that the expectations in the middle of a pandemic, um, any expectations of when you're working with somebody um, during this time. I feel like I'm having a real fat face day as a sidebar.
Oh, I'm having a fat life. So.
So let's hope that you're listening to this and not watching this. But um, I think that we all, even though the initial like pandemic hit in like March and people were still just kind of like struggling trying to figure out what was what. I mean, these effects can last and are lasting for a lot of folks. So, and that extends to, like freelancers like myself, people in traditional 9 to 5 jobs, service providers, all that kind of stuff. Like we still need to be we still need to extend grace because people are really dealing with um just not really, like, even if they haven't experienced loss from the pandemic, like personally, like in their family or friends,
Yeah.
like we we're still not like ourselves, like, and we're very different from how we were in January. And so like mentally, like we're still all just trying to figure it out. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the client could have been a little more uh understanding of that, perhaps. But I will always be accountable for my part in the fuck up. So that's what it was.
Fair. Just want to be fair. And I'm not always. But
So what's going on with you, Tiffany?
oh man, work is crazy. Last night was Halloween, so I always have a lot of fun with Halloween. Um, even before let's see, yeah, even before I was a mom, I had Halloween was always super fun for me. But um, I this year did so Jacob, my son, that's the most important, was Harry Potter, and he was an amazing Harry Potter. But I chose Grace Jones this
Love
year.
that shit too. Kilt. KILTT capital T kilt. That shit.
Cute. Last year we did a family costume and it was really cool. We did break-in and I think that was amazing. But this year everybody did their own thing. And so I did Grace Jones. And so funny thing about how I came to Grace Jones, because the outfit that I had on was something that I just like bought on a whim. It was on clearance and I was like, I can do something with that. I just don't know what. And so I immediately I had to go sit with my grandmother who has dementia while my mom went to vote. And my grandmother's kind of sassy and jazzy, and so she's very into animal print.
As most
Older ladies,
aged ladies are.
And so I was thinking about her later and I was like, I know what I want to do. But I started out with my heart of hearts Rihanna in my head. And I did the whole setup, did the hair, outfit, had like the fur coat, like I recreated this Rihanna vision in my head. And let me tell you something. Halloween is, even if you are not a chick who has a lot of friends, or if you're just independent, Halloween is the day of the year you need your girlfriends or your sisters, because no man can set you up like your true girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that the lighting is all that. So I was like, I got to get this right. I'm gonna do it myself. And I failed miserably trying to selfie it, like do the, like the camera, like, what do you call it? The timer.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did I have bad lighting, after taking several pictures, I realized that Rihanna is in fact 15 years younger than I am. And so while they're both badasses, because that was kind of the theme I'm going for, like this wild, whatever. It was just more befitting. I think Rihanna would have been pissed if she the pictures and how they came out. It was just, the lighting, it was bad. So I quickly put the hair back, switch gears, put on the makeup, and the Grace Jones, while it wasn't the perfection I wanted, it happened.
I don't know, Tiffany. I think, like I said, you killed that shit. Like it was so amazing. Like even like how you had, like, how did you get the background? Hold on, I need to pull it up. Just so that I can have like an accurate reference.
So
what I'm talking about.
And we can post this, but it's funny shit, because once I tell you, you'll be able to pick it apart. So one of us is a graphic designer and one of us is not.
I love it so much.
I happen to not be the one that's not. I don't use a lot of filters. I'm very bad with all of that. And what I did was, so I told you my grandmother loves animal print, and the thing that I'm laying on happens to be the real chair in my great room half covered up by a robe, a bathrobe that my grandmother bought for me, probably about 15 years ago. And I draped it halfway over the chair. This picture, the 10-year-old did take. And so I, put myself on this chair or whatever. And it's like, you can kind of see if the real picture, you can kind of see the kitchen, you can kind of see like the wall unit and all that in it or whatever. And what I did was took my finger with the pen filter and just scribbled it all out in black, which is why I can't see it as clearly. So we'll post it so that you can see exactly how bootleg this picture really is if you don't look close.
It's fantastic.
That's how I did that. Secrets of the trade.
Right.
Secrets of behind the curtain. Yes. Secrets of a good Halloween. And it was very hard because I don't have a chase like Grace Jones did. I'm like actually holding myself stiff across the chair, which required a great deal of strength. So I did that. I carved 3 large pumpkins in like record time, which I don't understand even more. Like, I do not like pumpkin anything. And even more after that, I don't understand how people fuck with pumpkin because if they do it from scratch, which I don't know if anybody does, like, how do you do that? Yuck.
Yeah.
Gross.
I've been having conversations about Halloween because, like, I have friends that dress up and obviously friends with kids that go through the whole thing. I have never, I can only remember maybe 2, maybe 3 times that I've dressed up in my whole life as a child.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So like Halloween was not, I remember this one time I was a cheerleader, which was a lame costume. So I don't know why, but
I was
that's.
a cheerleader too once. I think all 3 of us were. It's all girls, all little girls.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be a cheerleader once.
Yeah.
And I was so turned off by the fact that it was cold outside that I was just like, so I'm supposed to just like stay outside and like, and like I don't, not like even as a child, I was like my comfort levels are not where they need to be. And damn this candy, I am cold and I would like to go home now and take a nap, please. So I never really was into it. And I should send you these pictures so that you can post along with your Grace Jones. The last time that I went all out for a Halloween is me and one of our prior guests' wife, the illustrious Jacqueline Baker. I dressed up as Salt and Pepper.
Oh, fun!
And when I tell you that it was ridiculous that we went so far, like we went so far with this. I mean, which is when you put us together, this is how it usually goes. Like we always go too far on something. So I had a wig with like
the asymmetric.
I had bought a wig and then I cut it asymmetrically.
I gotta see.
And I think Jackie had a similar thing. We bought like these fake ass leather jackets and put salt and pepper on the back. Which I think, like, I don't know why we didn't, or why I didn't like paint the leather jacket to like mirror the actual salt and pepper jackets. I don't know. Maybe Jacqueline and I should revisit that for next Halloween, maybe. And we had like the fake gold chains and the tattoo. We made fake tattoos. It was ridiculous. We were just so far, and like it was only supposed to be like, oh, like we should do this. And then we were like, okay. And then just as the days grew, we were just like, oh, and we could do this and we can go by. And before you know it, we had spent like $100 something on some fake shit. And yeah, it was just, it was hilarious. And
Look,
then,
Halloween has been a thing because now I feel like Halloween has become, social media has grown Halloween. Like everybody is like, all the celebs are into like these big deal, ornate, elaborate, sometimes clever things. Look, Langford's been Halloweening. The queen is my sister Olivia. Olivia was oh my God, Lil Wayne, who fuck him right now.
absolutely.
He's just stick to features. Lil Wayne was the fucking best.
I can't like seeing her like seeing knowing what she looks like. I can't even picture it, so I know it had to be ridiculous.
I'll send it to you. She's masterful. I've had some good ones. I've had some good ones. I think my favorite was either my flash dance, which there are no pictures of. I always mean to ask. I went to a Halloween party that year. Linda and Mac Hendricks had a Halloween party that year, and I went as why can't I think of her name? Jennifer Beals character in Flashdance, and so that was probably one of my favorites. But I also was one of the Robert Palmer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I did that, and I think I rocked that one. Um, I've done a lot of stuff. I like Halloween a lot. So I think a couple of years ago we were renting the Hip Hop Dalmatians. That was a good one. Yeah. So
I did a goth girl, and everybody was like, so you're not wearing a costume, and I was like, you real rude, you real rude.
oh,
So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But
I should worry about what I do.
they were very rude, very rude.
Oh,
But that was pretty fun. And then I think that was like it for me dressing up as a kid and as an adult. So
this is the other thing. Dawn Risnay, my mother, she was the Halloween queen. She making costumes. She was excellent at putting costumes together. Like we didn't have like the plastic mask costumes. She was the bomb at doing that. She was
she
so
was like
creative.
the Tina Knowles of Halloween.
She was like the Tina Knowles of Halloween. Yes, yes. She was quite crafty with it, like with the makeup, and like my brother was the best Beetlejuice. Oh, she was excellent. She did a good job, and we had like uh, all that kind of stuff. And then we went to Catholic school too, so the day after Halloween, if you're Catholic, is All Saints Day, and we got to dress up as saints. So we got to do 2 in a row or whatever. She would make like I remember one time she did like this halo and wings, and which the irony. But it was amazing. Like, so I love that stuff. But I'm also a Pisces, and we get lost in fantasy just way too easily. And then having Eric was always just fun. I got disappointed when they started, doing like just a ninja, when they creative about it anymore or whatever. So okay, that's it. And I have been working around the fucking clock, like around the clock. These people have me earning every dime right now. So that's it.
That's
Boring
it.
as Tiffany. And then, of course, I think we're all just on election watch.
Yes.
I voted. I
Ooh,
did that. I don't think that there's anybody who's watching us that we have to remind to do so, because I know my mother's voted already.
right. I don't
um,
even think my friends watch. So like, yeah, I really don't.
get on that.
Yeah.
Get on
So
that.
friends, yeah, need y'all to get. I mean, I guess they wouldn't know because they wouldn't know that I'm calling them out because they don't watch. But
So who's watching us? Let us know. Somebody is, because we do get some. We get some messages here and there. But yeah, and I know whoever it is, we don't have to tell you how important this election is, and this is more about. Um, for me, I would just say that it is more about the things that should not happen than it is about the things that could happen. You know, this is really, don't fuck this up.
Yeah, like
That's all I can say.
we're, I was so ecstatic to cast my vote. I voted last Monday. Um and my dumb ass. So I'm actually gonna be in DC tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Um Visiting someone very special who I know who listens.
Okay, 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 okay.
And I was like, oh, I have to make a voting plan because I was planning to vote in person. And then I was like, oh wait, I'm not gonna be here. So so
Taking care
then
of two things.
so then I was like, yeah, well let me get on my Googles, figure out where's my voting center that is open and available. And it took me less than 10 minutes, super easy in and out. And I was like, I think I felt, I mean, I think everybody who voted for Obama in the first two terms had, I mean, there was an excitement, but there was also like a historical moment. Like
Mhm.
with this, like I was giddy, I was excited, I was like elated, I was ready. I was like, yes, like I am. And I'm not so much excited about the candidate per se,
Right.
but I am excited about the possibility that we will return to some sort of normalcy
Mm-hmm.
in this next 4 years. Like, even if Biden gets us to just the middle, just back to the middle, just where we're not having a crisis or a scandal or a tweet that is offensive every single day, and that we are back in good graces with our foreign allies, and that we are like getting our environmental um, laws back in place, and like just all of that.
Look,
If we can just go back to the middle.
need my central nervous system to calm the fuck down. I need him to shut the fuck up, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
I need my central nervous system to just come back, come back.
Just come back.
I can't take it. I know I am an idiot. I am not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I don't have my moral compass. You know, we know that's shaky. But what I see and hear every day, even when I try not to,
Mm-hmm.
is infuriating. It's disgusting, and fuck this shit. Like,
Yep.
get it? I can deal with normal nonsense. I can deal with regular politics. I can deal with, I can deal with just normal human difference and disagreement. Um, What I can't deal with is just complete and utter intolerance and nastiness and ignorance, man. Like really ignorant. Like I
Ignorance.
ignorant, ignorant as shit. I'm like, there's just no way this is. There is just no way this is happening. And not only that, I don't embarrass easily. We've established this, I think, several times. I am embarrassed
Mm-hmm.
as a person who is a citizen of the United States. This is embarrassing. This is worse than like, you know, um, you know, your parent going off in the middle of the football game while you're on the field playing and everybody's looking like, whose mama
Right.
is this is like worse. This is worse. So anyway, we ain't got to tell y'all. Rest assured, Andrea and I have done our part. So if you know somebody who's tripping, stay on them because we don't have time
We
for
don't have time for this
we
shit.
don't have time for it. We don't have time for it. So
Yeah. I mean, because like, yeah, like just especially like just how more bold the racists are, and like how like they really are just being a racist is just a nasty disposition to have regardless, but they they make sure you know exactly how nasty they are, and they up the ante every time. So I can't imagine like how much more nasty they would get if they had another 4 years of someone that find people on both sides and stand down and stand by them all the time.
it won't take 4 years. All that it has to do is that election to go wrong on Tuesday. You want to see acting out that? I mean, seriously, seriously, like, who raised you people?
Who raised you people?
I,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess racist raised you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your granddaddies and your great granddaddies and yeah.
Mhm.
No.
But speaking of something that you brought up earlier about Lil Wayne, we can add 50 Cent into that too. Like the fact that, well, there's two things. The fact that Trump thinks that um, sports people, comedians, and musicians are the people that speak for Black America or that are representing Black America is problematic to begin with. So that's number one. But um but that but the underlying issue of that is that, in my opinion, that we hype up these people and give them like Lil Wayne and 50 Cent and everybody else they're gonna have a platform because they make records and millions of dollars and all of that kind of stuff. But like they shouldn't, like as soon as they start talking that nonsense, like people should just be like, yeah, I'm out. And like remove, like don't share the story, don't write a think piece about it, don't engage in the comments about it, like just remove yourself, because that's the only thing that's gonna help to to not give them the platform that they need to shout their bullshit, is if we stop giving attention to it. But back to the first point, like it's just a telltale sign that Trump doesn't really give a shit about reaching Black America. Oh, Ice Cube, how could I forget Ice Cube? That Trump just doesn't give a damn about reaching out to Black America for a change, or for this platinum plan that even the name is rooted in bullshit. But so like What do you think about that? Like, what do you think about Lil Wayne and 50 Cent and Ice Cube and what's his face? Um, Steve Harvey.
Oh, I wasn't even aware that Steve Harvey had jumped in this.
Oh yeah,
So
that was like a couple years ago. But yeah.
that one flew over me. But the most recent, so I don't know. What I know is this, or what I feel is this, and um, again, I go back to everyone. You know, we should have diversity of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Should. Um, we also should have a cohesive agenda for as Black people, and I'm not as people of color in general, but as Black people in America, this isn't the time for trying to be, what's the word? Trying to flex what you feel is your political mediation skills or savviness, mm-hmm. or this is just not that time. And this is again me speaking as a person who is peripherally aware of most whatever I'm aware of, like Lil Wayne. I'm gonna just say this about Lil Wayne: cocaine and bad contracts. So already, Lil Wayne can spit a fire feature. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
That is your gift.
That is your gift. 50 Cent, not so much. 50 Cent can make a TV show that millions of Black Americans get into, millions that aren't me, because I don't really get into it. I don't like the shit. It's, but whatever. I tried. 50 Cent is a known instigator.
Known. He be instigating all kinds of shit.
All he does is say shit for attention. 50 Cent is oh, and then there's this. And I like Chelsea Handler. I like her a lot. But the fact that in all of this, a woman who is white had to go behind you, have a conversation with you, and then be allowed and empowered to speak for you, I think is a slap in the face. It's, I'm sorry, that's not what diversity and equity is about. You should
right.
speak to people who are your own. She shouldn't have to go behind you and be like, the fuck is you talking about? And then come and tell America he was not serious. That's just not funny.
Right.
Just like your show Power. So, or Empire. I don't know if that shit is supposed to be funny or not. They're dramas, but the shit ain't funny. So, don't sit here and have a Black audience and be irresponsible. This is, again, coming from a person who's irresponsible, this is not the time to be irresponsible.
Yeah.
And then Ice Cube, and I'll say this too, Lil Wayne and 50 Cent, I don't pay 2 bits of attention. Ice Cube, I'm a little more disappointed about, but obviously I haven't been paying attention to his politics if this is how he rolls, because for some reason I was shocked. I was a little bit surprised. Not shocked because I don't pay attention that much, but I was a little bit surprised. I felt like he would take a harder position. But whatever. Anyway, all that to say, be responsible. Just be fucking responsible. We shouldn't have people who are not us speaking for us in ways that we should be speaking for each other. Not that they shouldn't be speaking on our behalf and allies. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you shouldn't be, out allied by somebody else.
Right.
So
Right.
that's how
Yeah.
I feel. That's what I say about that.
And I like you, I haven't really been paying attention to Ice Cube's politics, but apparently he's been on this he's been on this withholding the black vote shit.
Oh, fuck that. We can stop the
Um,
conversation right here.
yeah, so I'm also kind of like if that's really the shit you on, then I don't need you speaking for me like I don't need you speaking for me, period. And now with all the stories that are coming out about how at first it was he wasn't invited to the conversation, and then it was he was invited but he declined, then it was um some state rep had a conversation with Ice Cube, but now like that's in dispute, like all of this. It's like we're so in this time of where we are basically, like, to use a Super Mario Brothers analogy, like we are going up against the biggest Bowser, whatever kind of animal he was, but we are going against the main event. Okay, we don't need separation. We don't need distractions. We don't need people saying like, oh, like getting caught up in who said what and who met with whom and this and that. Like all of those are distractions against the main focus, which is to get Trump out of office. That should be the goal of every civil-minded Black American, eh, or not just Black Americans in general. Like, so we can't spend time talking about that little ancillary shit. Like, it needs to be we need to stay the eyes on the prize and be focused.
Exactly. It's ego, distraction, and it is not the time. That's the other thing. I'm like, you simple-minded motherfuckers, this is not the time. Like, you have to know that while he ain't a smart man up on Pennsylvania Avenue user, and you have to understand the timing of this shit. So you want to talk about you weren't invited to the table, but you are now? You need to flip that table over and go about your business.
Right.
Yes, that certificate was the soundtrack of my high school life. So I'm gonna need him to like get his shit together because I can't. So look, this is just not the time for all that shit. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
And everybody else, again, I'm gonna say I have confidence in the people who pay attention to us that this is not an issue.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We can talk about this and be pissed off because I am. It is so fucking annoying. This isn't the same thing as getting the Crips and the Bloods together for a gang meeting, like, and a truce and all that and community. This is because no. This isn't the same thing. Y'all do that. No. Just smoke some weed. Like, just smoke some weed and chill. Because all three you do just smoke. Lil Wayne needs to switch the cocaine out for the weed and just chill.
And like that tweet that Lil Wayne supposedly tweeted about with the picture of him and Trump, like, he ain't write that shit because it was too
it was too
coherent. Like, bruh, like, and I'm not trying to insult his intelligence. I don't think he's an unintelligent person, but the way that tweet read, those are not the words that are coming out of Lil Wayne's mouth. Like, so let's just be real. Like he could have said the same shit in his own vernacular and it would have been like, okay. But that shit was not, that was such a Trump communication teams. We're going to send you the text that you need to copy and paste into your Twitter. And that's what you're going to do.
Finally, we get a chance to actually write something for somebody who's going to use it.
Right.
We're twiddling our thumbs while he tweets whatever the fuck he wants to tweet.
Right. Exactly. So
this is our chance. We're in.
We're doing something.
Look, there's so many other things these people could be doing with their time. Like, let's see. What could they be doing with their time? Smoking weed.
Right.
The 5-look challenge, which I don't do that shit, but I have to say, somebody we know just bossed that shit. Straight. Good job, sister.
Yes, very much so. Nailed it. Like even got the dog sleeping. Like, how do you even do that? Like, amazing.
Yes, people who love her who take pictures of her. Look, and the dog sleep with her a lot. So
I love it.
Let's see. Shop, spend your money. Hey, you know what? If you want to write checks, I will send you my address.
Relatively unstable definitely needs funding for equipment, a podcast, a dedicated podcast studio, clothes, a makeup artist for our videos, hairstylist, Botox, shit, I don't know, a whole bunch of other shit that we both need.
Microdermabrasion. For that shit. So, I'm sitting up here with all these serums. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, just have some restraint,
Yeah.
These boys, I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of boys, we got into a conversation on my page about gender roles, which this is a whole other conversation.
Oh, right.
But I feel like, these things, I think I told Andrea earlier, I feel sometimes, as much as I'm on social media, sometimes I feel like it's closing in on me a little. And one probably doesn't have anything to do with the other, because what I'm talking about when I say it's closing in on me, social media makes people inescapable. You can block them, you can ignore them, but it makes people inescapable. And I don't know if it's because I was PMSing this week, but do you ever get, I think the answer for you is going to be no, but I'll just throw it out there because this is how I am. Sometimes I get annoyed when there are people that I want to keep at arm's length who connect with people that usually it's always I and my sister or sisters know, and then they're all over their shit. And then I have to see their name all the fucking time. And I'm like, I like you or I love you, but there's no separation. Like there's no boundary. And it can get to me sometimes. It can get annoying because I'm just like, that's my person.
Right.
And here you are.
And
then I wonder, is somebody thinking that about me? I don't know. I'm sure they are, but I do. I've had a couple of those moments this week where I was just like, we don't have to be connected to all the same people.
Right. And I mean, Detroit in particular, and I know this more than anybody.
More than I do?
It's very, very, very fucking small. And even yeah, it's just very fucking small. And I am always surprised at who knows who and who is connected to who and who is not connected to who for some other reason because they were connected to someone else. Like it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. And sometimes it's not even that, oh, they know them. It's just that sometimes I'm just like, get your own fucking friends. Now, here's the thing. if it's somebody that's like, where it's just like an authentic, like natural fit, I don't care. But when it's just like, I don't know, I know I'm being this kind of mean girlish, but I'm being very honest. Like that's how I feel sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, you ain't like I don't have to see you all the time. Like like you're liking and posting more than I am, and I love the person. Like,
Right.
you're engaging with this, so maybe I'm just being jealous. Maybe I'm just being like, I don't know, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah. I
days
mean,
more than others.
yeah, it is. It can be annoying. Oh, excuse me, guys. I should not be yawning because I was in bed until just quite a few hours ago. So there's that. But yeah, it is annoying that Detroit is so small. And I think it gets even smaller when you are a person of particular means or a particular um group. Like I have, and you're friends with all of these people too, or most of them. But I have a friend who I tease. Um, so he has a core group of folks that he's really close with that are, you know, movers and shakers within the city. And I always tease him like, now I'm friends with all of the people that he's friends with,
Mhm.
not close, but I'm friends. So I always tease this one person like, I'm on the fringe. Like I'm like the fringe friend. So like I know them and I know these movers and shakers and
Right.
could have their phone number, could easily text them and all of that, but like I'm still just on the fringe. So I'm like I'm like not quite as popular or not quite as in the in crowd as you know as they are or whatever, but yeah, and like when you get into those circles, the shit gets even smaller and
Mhm.
more um friendships and other things just
Complicated.
start to overlap. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like when people, yeah. And then it's like, it's so funny because like so much of my life is dedicated to inclusion, but then I'm like, I need a break from inclusion sometimes. Like like I don't know. There are probably, mm, I would say, 7 people, you being one of them, who could just like have access to all of me and to all of any and everybody, um, I'll stretch it to maybe, no, I'll say like 7, maybe. I can only really think of 4, but I'm giving room for people I'm not thinking about right this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'll say maybe 7 who I would be like completely comfortable. Take whoever you want. But then there are people when I'm just like I know, like, like why is I I know she doesn't listen, but like why is my cousin connected to like an ex-boyfriend who she never met before in her life? Like
Right.
that kind of thing. Like,
Right.
why are you connected to him? Like, when we haven't even dated in like 25 years.
Right. Right. Right.
And it was a very short time at that. So I don't understand, just stuff like that. But that's me again, being me, feeling like this. Then this shit happens. Like you post something, and again, I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I might have said it stupidly. I might have said it out in high emotion. I might have said it, you know, I don't know, meanly. If I rethink it myself and go back, I'll, whatever. Um, and this is the thing about me, I'm not challenging anybody who I know on their shit too much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not but I don't know. So we got into this thing about I saw a meme about uh what was the meme? It was about something about don't fit if you who it was like a question meme. Who gets to eat first, the man or the kids?
Mm-hmm.
And my initial reaction was, who gives a fuck?
Right.
I don't care who eats when. I'm also not like that traditional, whatever. Or I don't know, maybe whose plate do you fix first? Because this became a thing about fixing plates.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if I see a girl fixing my son's plate, I know we're not going to get along because I know he had, and that was all I said. But the ... is because I know he hasn't done anything to earn that shit. Like there's no equity in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying too hard. And the reason is because there's no way I could guide her into self value, worth, esteem. And I'm like, if she's fixing plate for a man who hasn't earned anything at this point,
Right.
then, she's got some values that I would not appreciate. Or that's it, period. Like, that are not mine. And plus, I did not grow up in a family where women were fixing plates and shit. So,
Right.
whatever works for whatever couple, fine, do you. All I'm saying is that.
Right.
And it became a thing a little bit.
It did become a thing. And so two things, and one thing I'm just going to repeat what I shared on that status, but then the other thing is that I did come from a household where my mom was very overly and undeservingly catering to men that she dated.
Mhm.
And these were men that did not deserve it and were
Mhm.
not bringing anything to the relationship, the household, the nothing.
Mhm.
Um, so that so that's always a trigger for me because um I don't want to be that way. Like I don't want to be like my mom in that regard. But then secondly, what I shared on that in that comment thread was that I had in my previous relationship, we were, I think he was just about to meet my family and he didn't have family in the area. So like it was kind of a given that he was going to come to my house for the holidays.
Mhm.
Um, and I remember having this, it's all around like Halloween and November. These memes start coming out about like fixing plates and conversations like that starts to happen. So, and I was thinking huh, like what should I do? And like what is the proper etiquette for that? And like um because for me it seems because of the relationship I have with my mom, like it would seem weird for me if I served someone from a kitchen that is not my own. Like so if I'm at my mother's house, even though I said in the comment thread that I would, but like it would feel less weird if I was doing it for like a female friend versus like my
Yeah.
boyfriend. So like
Right.
so like it almost, I don't really know how to describe it, but it feels like, I mean, the dynamic of me and my mom is that I don't really talk to her about dating or relationships or sex or anything like that. Like that's just not how
Mhm.
we roll. So for her to see me in that role would feel weird to me.
Mhm.
because it would almost be like an acknowledgement of me having this adult relationship. And like, I just like, it's a weird, it's
I know. I get what you're saying. I
yeah,
totally get what you're saying.
yeah. So, but like I said in the comment thread, she alleviates all of that because she likes to serve her bland ass food to anybody that will sit at her table. So that doesn't, she removes that barrier for me. She is ecstatic about serving her salt and pepper flavored seasoned food. She might throw a lemon in there, maybe some butter. But she is ecstatic about sending that shit to the table, and she will serve it to anyone that sits down. So I don't even have to worry about that because she will do it happily. Um, and it's so funny, as a little sidebar on that, like, she really just, I really don't think she, like, I really don't think she knows that she's not that great of a cook. It's funny. Like,
Nobody who's not a good cook, I should say, few people admit it. Like, I think few people say, like, I've heard people say, I've heard you say, even, like, but there are so many more people who love to say how well they can cook, and you're like, okay, okay. I saw the pictures because I didn't eat the shit. I saw the pictures. I'm gonna let you have that because I'm not going to eat it.
right,
At least not on purpose.
right.
And
That's definitely I'm gonna put the paper plate in the garbage face down situation.
you
Yeah.
know who's real good at talking about how well they cook? Men.
Hmm.
And this is another whole separate conversation, but I really am turned off when men talk about how well they can cook. Like, it makes me so uncomfortable. It always has. I'm like, I don't care. And
So
a lot of women are like, oh, I want a man who can cook. And I'm like, yes, you do. But I don't want him to tell me that.
right. So yes, because I mean, as listeners know, I mean, especially since I just told you that my mama cooked some bland ass food. My family, the women in my family, are not cooks and have not been cooks. They don't cook anything from scratch. They are not they're not like, we ain't go over no big mama's house for Sunday dinner with like homemade biscuits and none of that shit.
I
It
love a
was,
biscuit.
right. It was um hold on a second. Business calls.
We're witnessing Andrea make her money.
So I never really learned that skill. So like, having someone, being in a relationship with someone that cooks is obviously not like a necessity, but it is a very, very good bonus. And I have been very lucky in that regard. I've dated a few people that could really, really, really cook. And they didn't talk about it. They just were like,
You
yeah,
hungry?
I'm gonna make this. Like they didn't rant and rave about how well they cook. They just were like, yeah, like I usually make this when I make this. And then I taste it and it's amazing. So so thankful to, let's see, it's probably like about 4 people. So thankful to 3 of them, not the 4th one. So thank you to all of those, but not that last one.
Yeah, I look, I don't know why, I'm, first of all, I feel like I have to remind, I'm not right, because I don't need anybody coming at me about how much of a hypocrite I am. I already fucking know that. So let's not worry about all that. I can be like feminist, pro-woman, and at the same time, there are a few I won't say gender roles, just partner roles, whatever, that I get weird about. And I don't know what it is. I think it's because I don't care. I think it's because cooking, being able to cook, or it's not even being able to contribute to the household food is a bonus, but that's not what I'm looking for in general. As much as I love to eat, I'm very picky, so there's that too. I'm a very weird eater, but you know, but the whole thing, whenever they say that, I just feel like, okay, but what else? Like, if that's what you think it takes to impress me, is to tell me up front that you can cook or you love to cook, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I know that's mean because maybe it's like a really coming from an authentic place, but I don't care. Yeah. Anyway, so this,
Mhm.
this, the woman who put this meme out said that if you think that the kids should eat first, and I'm glad you said what you said about your mom, because, and let me also say this, I feel that way today. And I have felt that way for a very long time, but there have been periods in my life where I definitely felt like I had to put my cooking abilities on display, and not so much serving a man, but I had to show them that I could cook or whatever. So I would have a plate made or be, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it also was out of, I will say, like, I don't want to say use the word desperation, but a call for a need for to validate myself or something, which is a turnoff to me at this point. So uh, she said that if you feel like the kids should eat first, that single mother mentality, and you should like it. So I took issue with that because I'm like, one, why is single mother a mentality? What is so wrong with being a single mother?
Right.
Um, like, really, are we still there?
Mm-hmm.
And two, I feel like single mother mentality, if there is a single mother mentality, is the I need to feed you so you'll come into my home and take care of my kids and be a partner and this and that, So how is that? See, I'm like, if you already got the man, you don't give a shit who eats. So that, to me, that's
Right.
partner mentality. Like, y'all. Anyway, this person I went to high school with decided it was important to challenge my thoughts on gender roles, and, well, so that means he doesn't have to open the door for you or walk on the street side of the sidewalk. Again, I mean, those things are bonuses, those are nice, but I can open my own door, and if I get hit by a car, it was my time to go. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean,
Those are nice. I'm being silly. Those are nice things. Those are
yeah.
sweet. But, I'm kind of like I don't know.
But what I think, like, I just don't know, like, why does it have to be like so, like, okay, well, if I do this for you, then you do this for me. Why does it have to be like, if you're the kind of woman that fixes plates, like if you were raised to serve the men first, men being the grandfather, your father, the first son, second son, third son first, if that's how you were brought up, fine. and that's what's natural to you. That's what comes natural to you, and that's fine. And also, similarly, if you are the kind of man that opens doors and walks on a certain side of the street, and whatever other chivalrous type things that you do, you should do those things regardless of what you're going to get back. Is how I feel. Like you should if I'm that kind of person, then I'm going to serve you whether you do this or that for me or whatever, because that's what I want to do, and that is what that's what comes natural to me. So
Relatively unstable.
yeah, right. So like I don't so the I mean, I think that because when this conversation comes up, a lot of times men are always like, oh, well, don't you want a man to do this or don't you want a man to do that? And yes, I do. But I want that man to want to do it because he wants to do it, not because, oh, well, if I get her car cleaned, then she's going to serve me a plate or serve me in the bedroom, however, whatever it is. Like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want it to be that tit for tat.
This expectation, like this culture of expectation. And that's essentially what I ended up saying to him. Do whatever is in your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Let her do whatever is in her spirit. If that works, bless y'all. If that, whatever it is, but don't be expecting shit to be like, if you will constantly be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
If you are doing things thinking that it is going to get you something else or change a behavior, you will constantly. So no matter how many plates I fixed, I'm not with any of those people now. Like it's
right.
going to that. I mean, and I think I do okay. I'm a person that does not like to cook. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy standing on my feet. I don't, and most of all, I don't enjoy prep or cleanup. Like those are like the worst things for me. I'll cook it, but I don't like prep, and dishes give, again, say that same feeling I get when I see the current president on the TV is the same feeling I get when I see dishes in the sink. Like I don't like the feeling. So that's why I don't love to cook. I could eat apples all day if it meant I don't have to, there's no cleanup involved. But I do okay because I did have women in my family who were about that kitchen life.
Mm-hmm.
And taught me. So I don't think I'm the best. I don't think I would never challenge anybody. I'm just saying you won't die and you might have a good time. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I'm saying. But it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You either like me or you do not. So whether I can cook or whether I cannot, or whether, whatever. Today, my son, and this is the other thing. This goes to 10-year-old says to me, "Hey, mom, can you order?" I can't believe this little boy said this to me. He said, "Can you order me McDonald's from DoorDash?" No, the fuck I cannot.
Right.
To be fair, we did it one time and one time only when I had to deal with a flooding problem. I'm like, no, go ask your father to get DoorDash or McDonald's for you. No,
Like, no. And
no.
also, it's going to be trash because McDonald's has like
A quick shelf life.
a quick shelf life outside of your stomach. So like, yeah, it's not going to be very good.
Let's learn from the 10-year-old. If she's not fixing your plate, DoorDash will deliver it to you.
Yes.
And everybody is happy.
Everybody's happy.
You don't have to move. She don't have to do dishes. And you got your food.
It's a win-win-win.
Win-win. Whatever is in your spirit, you do. You let her do whatever is in her spirit, or whatever is in his spirit. You let the other him do whatever is in his spirit. Whoever your partner is, just the culture of expectation is problematic. And that's what it comes down to. And again, I like this woman. I don't know her personally, but I order a lot of stuff from her store. But I was just like, how is that single mother mentality? Like, what decade are we living in where we're still talking about fixing plates?
Right.
Like, again, if you do it, that's one thing. If that's what's in your spirit and moves you, whatever. But why are we still talking about it in 2020? I guess we're still talking about it because people like me perpetuate the shit when it comes out instead of ignoring it like I should. But apparently I've taken my lesson from 50 Cent and I have taken to instigating this week.
Right. And full circle.
So next time on Relatively Unstable, we'll have something else nonsensical to talk about. But I think this was a good conversation.
I think so too.
I
think so too. And yeah, I have to get ready to go eat my mom's bland food. So we're really full circle.
The little lorries in your purse.
Right. A little something.
You know.
I mean, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great, and I'm gonna eat it, and it's gonna satisfy and give me nutrition. And she'll be happy because she served me and she's doing something for me, and you know, it'll be a great time. It'll be a great time.
Well, it's November, and you know, while everybody is getting busier and the weather is getting colder, hopefully that means that Andrea and I will be able to get together and have more chats and some structure, because you know, I don't know. Do you do well with structure? I don't. Don't tell me what to do.
No.
So, you know, but we're gonna have some fun. It's the holiday season coming up, whatever holiday. So we'll do some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us what you want to hear. And you know, we'll do something.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be entertaining no matter what.
It will be. We think so. So if you do too, you know what to do. Go back to the beginning and hit that subscribe, like, share, download, all that kind of stuff. And talk to us.
Let us know what you want to hear, so we can talk about something else.
Oh, look at her shoulder.
Oh yeah, I got my little sports bra. I'm not working out, but I do have my sports bra on.
Is that green or is that, what is that?
It's like lime green.
All right, Barbie.
Yeah, I got my earrings on. I'm feeling very flash dance right now. Or Fame, more like Fame with the off the shoulder. Oh, I love Fame.
Love that movie. Okay, Andrea, safe travels, and we'll see you after the fun stuff.
Yeah, because we should have a post-election show, and because there's no telling what life will be like on November 4th.
Everybody take your ashwagandha, take your St. John's wort, smoke your weed, drink your drink, whatever you have to do to get through this. Because I do think, maybe just end on a real quick serious note, and that is that this is a highly emotional election.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is not a person invested that is not anxious right now, and will be for the next 72 hours. So let's support each other in this, and you know, let's watch the reckless talk among each other, and you know, wait it out. And if it's not what it needs to be, then we need to strategize for the next time and figure it out.
Absolutely.
And I'm just a very small part of that, but very small, like very small, but I believe in that. You know, they do it. They fall in line, and no matter what, as we can see. So, you know, let's just be careful, be physically and emotionally safe, and, you know, check in with your tribe.
Yep, absolutely.
Andrea, you're my tribe. And
Tribe.
we will catch up, even if it's on Instagram but we will catch up afterward and download, see what happens.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.